Hello once again, everybody. Adam here with just some final notes on the Python in 5 Problems video series. I hope you enjoyed the series. I hope you learned some valuable things there as to how you might go about implementing the coding with Python in your grade 9 mathematics class. Please note we did not even come close to scratching the surface of all the cool things that you can do with Python. That was just an introduction. So I strongly encourage you to keep exploring, keep playing around, and try some new things. So there's a bunch of topics out there that you might want to look into. For example, you might want to look at using lists in Python. We didn't talk about that at all. You might want to talk about or look into nesting loops. You can actually put loops within other loops and play around with that and see what happens. You might want to look at, we covered the if-else statements. You might want to check out what happens if you use an if statement without the else part. What'll that do? Because you can do that. There's another type of statement you can use there too, called the else if, and it's written ELIF, like elif. And here's an example of a code from a friend and colleague of mine, JP, that was experimenting with that. And this relates back to the first problem we looked at with the height of a ball. And he set this up to print certain things based on certain conditions. So if the time is 1, it's going to say after 1 second, as opposed to saying after 1 seconds, which is kind of cool. Now here's the else if that I was talking about. If h is less than 0, it's going to print the ball has hit the ground, and you can see that there. As soon as the height goes below 0, you get that statement. Otherwise, or else, it's going to actually give you the ball's height, and it's going to say after whatever seconds the ball is that many meters high. So very cool, and thank you, JP, for sharing that with me. But yeah, investigate those other topics, and if you're wondering, where do you look for some more information? There's so many great resources out there. This is a book that I have it right here, actually, that I've been using, called Begin to Code with Python, and it's by Rob Miles, and I love it because it has a lot of information, and it's written in a really accessible, user-friendly way, nicely presented, and yeah, it's just a great book. It's a great read, so I'd strongly recommend to take a look at that. There is a CEMC courseware course designed for Python. It's called Python from Scratch. Scratch here is not referring to Scratch coding. It literally means Python from nothing, and they go over lots and lots of concepts there, much more depth than we did with our little 5 problems here. So check that out. Just Google CEMC Python from Scratch. It'll come up right away in Google. YouTube tutorials are unbelievably useful, so check those out for specific problems that you may be trying to solve. Also, the online forums that you come across for addressing specific questions are great. And this is something you might want to check out too. It's called EduBlocks, and what this is it looks like Scratch coding, like block coding, where you're dragging blocks and filling in blanks and so on. But the cool thing is the screen is split. So you see the block coding on one side, and you see the Python coding related to it that updates automatically on the other side of the screen. Now you still have to, kind of know how to do, the setting up of things, the structure of things and so on, the statements, and how to set up a loop in that. But the cool thing is, if you just set it up using the block, it does show you the Python syntax right beside it. So some things to consider for moving forward. Perhaps we'll do some more videos in the future. If there's anything that you'd like me to cover, let me know. And of course, if you have any questions, let me know. Otherwise, it's been a lot of fun, and I hope you enjoyed. Take care.